Hi friends, welcome to Our Family Cooks. I am so excited to be continuing our meal prep series together because again, I am pregnant with baby number 2, so we've got to prep and be ready for postpartum because it's coming around the corner. So we are going to be making a tater tot taco casserole today. Yes, tater tot casserole, but turned taco. So excited for this one. I definitely think my family, my toddler, my husband, me, we are all going to thoroughly enjoy this casserole when I am sleep deprived and postpartum. So let's get started. So we are going to get started by browning our hamburger. I've turned our pan on. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this in while it gets warmed up. And then once we brown this a little bit, we'll add some onions in and saute that along with our hamburger. Our hamburger is getting really nicely cooked, so I'm gonna slide it to the side of my pan where it will still be cooking, but make room for our onions. I diced up half a white onion and putting all that in here. And so we want to saute these first before really adding them into our bake and the rest of our hamburger, because sauteing them helps them get nice and soft, so then there's not just like crunchy raw onions in your taco salad. Tater Tot Taco Casserole, that's what it is. Words are hard. And if you're brand new to cooking and you don't really know what sauteing is, that's totally fine. It is when you are cooking onions or peppers, any veggie, and you just want it to get translucent. So that means it will be kind of see-through and not so white. So my onions are looking nice and translucent, so I'm gonna go ahead and stir everything together, the hamburger and the onion. And then I'm gonna add in about a teaspoon of minced garlic. And a lot of times I will do fresh garlic, but I don't feel like doing that for this one. So we are going to sprinkle in some minced garlic, dried minced garlic. And since this is a taco tater tot casserole, we are going to add in taco seasoning. So I just recommend whatever your packet of taco seasoning says for how much you need to add, do that. Mine is for 1 pound of meat, it's 3 tablespoons of taco seasoning. So that's what I'm gonna do. And we're gonna turn our burner down just to like a level 1 or level 2, a nice simmer. And then with a lot of taco seasonings, you do add water. This one says for every 1 pound, you do 3/4 cup water, and that just gets it to simmer together, get all the seasonings nice and melded in. It helps make your meat versus it just being a hamburger, an actual taco consistency like you would normally think of. And we'll stir this around and then we'll let it set and simmer for 5 to 15 minutes is what this one says. Read your packet, see what it says. So we'll let it simmer. I'm gonna put the lid on it for probably we'll do like 8 minutes. You just want the water to cook through and not be watery. We'll let that sit for about 8 minutes. All right, so our timer went off for the taco meat, so I'll show you guys what I was talking about. As it simmers, everything gets mixed together and you don't even see the water anymore. So this is perfect. All right, since our hamburger is done, we don't need to be at the stove anymore. So we'll come over here and I'm going to hopefully fit everything in this one pot so I don't have to get any more dishes dirty. And then we'll transfer it to our tray that we're gonna freeze it in. All right, so we need 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. And we're gonna add a can of Rotel chilies and then also a can of black beans. And I will be draining the black beans. And the recipe to making this yourself at home will be linked in the description below, so make sure to check that out. All right, we'll stir all of this together. And if you have made other delicious meal prep dinners or snacks or anything you wanna see me make, comment below your thoughts. What was your favorite item that you meal prepped before postpartum? If you're already a mom and have 1 or 2 kids, What are the things that you really were happy that you took the time to prep beforehand? All right, I'm gonna put this stuff in the sink. Okay, so I've already chopped up some cheddar cheese, and this is about 2 cups. So I'm gonna add all of that in here. Stir it around. And then the last thing we're gonna add before we put it in our baking dish is 1/2 cup of sour cream. And if you wanted to make this a bit healthier of an option, you could use cottage cheese or Greek yogurt instead of the sour cream. And I am currently putting a workbook together of all of my postpartum recipes, including dinners, breakfast, snacks, because if you are nursing for sure, you are gonna be hungry and you're gonna want snacks that you can easily eat in the middle of the night, those 2 a.m. nursing feedings, or even in the afternoon when you're hungry and don't know what to make. So snacks are an amazing one to have prepped and ready beforehand. So I am putting a workbook together that will have all of the recipes. It'll have tips on freezing and reheating everything. It will have nutritional breakdowns, so the calories, the protein, the carbs, all that stuff, if you want to make sure and track that, if that is your jam. And then it will have a few other items as well. So it's a great workbook that you can either download just to your phone, or you can print it if you want a physical copy to flip through. So that will be linked in the description as well. Okay, this looks bomb. Now that we got all of our stuff in here, I'm gonna get our pan out. And since these are going in the freezer, they're gonna be in there for a month or 2. We want to use these handy aluminum baking pans because I know me, I only have 2 glass Pyrex 9x13 baking dishes, and I'm gonna need those in the next few months. So it is just so much easier to get these aluminum pans. They store really well, and then you can also throw them in the oven later once you are postpartum and you're tired and you don't want to think about what to make. I will link everything in the description below where you can easily find some of these pans and just all the equipment and everything that we have talked about today. All right, let's pour this in. And I'm gonna quickly clean up just a little bit. I'm gonna put some stuff away and put some stuff in my sink. All right, I just like having a clean working environment. All the extra stuff just gets annoying. And if you are OCD and you wanna have a fancy, laid out, perfect tater tots on the top of yours, go for that. You do that. Before I became a mom and had kids, I probably would have done the same, but now I'm just like, what is the fastest thing I can do? And that's just pouring it on top here. So that's what I'm gonna do. All right, so that is all we need for our tater tot casserole, taco casserole. I'm gonna put these away and then we're gonna cover this and get it prepped for the freezer. All right, so instead of buying the big plastic lids that can go on top of here, I would recommend either doing plastic wrap and tinfoil or get the flat lids that lay flat across and then roll over. Those would be the easiest, because last time when I was postpartum with my daughter, I had bought some of those big lids and they took up so much space in the freezer that is just unnecessary. So I would recommend avoiding those and doing this route. All right, and lastly, we want to make sure to label our food because I am not going to remember when I'm sleep deprived and postpartum what the heck is in here. So let's get a Sharpie and we will put taco, tater, tot. And then I'm also going to add the baking instructions. So we'll do 375 for 25 to 35 minutes. And that'll be, we'll just check it in between that time frame to see if it's looking warm enough, the cheese is bubbling, all that good stuff. All right, and there you have it, your tater tot taco bake that is already prepped and ready to go in the oven when you are postpartum and you don't want to think about cooking. So make sure to check out the description for the recipes. There will be a playlist with all of my videos on what I am prepping for postpartum. Make sure to watch that and check it out. There's gonna be lots of great ideas that you can take from there. And then also comment what you thought. Have you tried this? What did you think? You could also make this just for dinner throughout the week for your family. It doesn't necessarily have to be meal prepped ahead. But yeah, check it out, let me know, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.